Welcome back to AM Northwest. Eating vegan is going mainstream, but cooking vegan can be a bit intimidating. Lucky for us, America's Test Kitchen has come to the rescue with their latest cookbook, Vegan for Everybody. We welcome back Chief Creative Officer for America's Test Kitchen, Jack Bishop. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Helen.
Oh, I love this. So the idea is that, I mean, for me, it's hard to cook vegan. So tell me about it.
Well, you get used to what you're doing.
Right.
And so what we're really trying to do is teach people how to make amazing plant-based meals.
Okay.
And so we love a burger.
Yes.
So we're making a black bean burger today, and I'm going to promise you, deliver all the things you want from a burger.
It'll taste like a burger.
Yeah, a burger is really about the experience of holding something in your hands. It's a little messy.
Yes.
It's got crunchy, it's got crispy, it's got creamy, all in that beautiful bun.
Okay.
So, of course, we need a patty, and so
Yes.
we're going to be making black bean burgers. Now, the trick to a vegan burger is usually if you're making a veggie burger, you would use eggs to bind it together. But
Right.
if you're making a vegan burger, you're not using eggs.
Right.
So the secret ingredient, can you guess what's in here?
I don't. I can't guess.
It is the liquid inside from the can of beans.
Oh, really?
We found it has the same binding properties as an egg.
Oh, wow.
And so this is literally what you would be throwing down the drain.
Right.
It's 6 tablespoons of the bean liquid.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of flour.
Okay.
You want to whisk those together
bet.
until they're nice
You
and
bet.
smooth.
Yep.
And this is going to basically help you, take the place of what the egg would be doing and binding the patty together.
Sure.
So, of course, we need big flavors. So I'm gonna get you to switch over. I'll take that from
Okay.
you. So we're going southwestern here, and we're adding all kinds of great flavors. We're gonna start with scallions. So that's 4 scallions,
Okay.
and we got 3 tablespoons of cilantro.
Love cilantro.
I've got some 2 tablespoons of garlic, a little bit of hot sauce, cumin, and coriander and salt and pepper.
How long did it take to test this recipe before you finally decided it was the perfect recipe?
We made about 50 versions
Oh
of this
my
before
goodness.
we got to the right one.
Okay.
So this is basically our flavor base and our binding base.
Okay.
So we're going to go over to the food processor. This is ground tortilla chips. So it's an ounce of tortilla chips. A lot of vegan burgers would have a ton of cornstarch in them,
Right.
which doesn't really add any flavor. This gives you great flavor, and it helps. It's the binding ingredient, the dry ingredient.
Okay.
And so we just ground those for 30 seconds in the food processor, and then I'm adding the 2 cans of beans, and I'm going to pulse these. All right, right in there, and throw the lid on. And we're going to pulse that 5 times. All right, I'm going to turn that around for you. That's all right. And there we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
3 and 4 and 5.
We're good.
Okay.
So that's the texture you're looking for. Where
Really?
where it's just a little chunky still and coarse.
Right.
And at this point, we put this back into the bowl, mix it together, and it's like any other burger recipe. You shape it into patties, and you brown them in a
Oh, wow.
lightly filmed skillet. A little bit of oil. You can use cast iron. You can use non-stick. You do 3 patties at a time. This will actually make enough for 6. So you do it in 2 batches and keep the first batch warm in the oven.
Is the term aquafaba, is that what that bean liquid is?
It's
okay.
it's this made-up term. It comes from the Latin, but it isn't really a Latin word. Aqua for water and faba for bean, and we use it in baking. So it gives great tenderness to muffins and cakes. It is the miracle substitute for eggs in pretty much all vegan cooking.
So how else do you put this together then?
Well, you need a special sauce,
Yes,
don't you?
yes.
And so store-bought vegan mayonnaise has actually gotten very good, and so we've added a bunch.
It's amazing what can happen.
Yeah, this one, the brand that we like is with pea protein rather than eggs. And this has got lots of umami, those savory notes. So it's got soy.
Umami, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Soy. So this is the 5th flavor taste.
Okay.
Along with salty and sweet and bitter and sour is umami. And a little bit of fresh crunch. So there's soy in there. There's vegan mayonnaise. There's garlic and chives. All right. Get the patty on there. Now, it is not a burger without toppings.
No.
So we need pickled radishes. So these are tangy. You pickle them for 15 minutes with some lime juice, and there's some shallots in there. And then the world's absolute best, crispy onions.
Ooh.
Who
doesn't love onion rings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think put the onion rings on the burger.
Yeah.
So just
When it comes to cheeses, how do you decide on cheeses? And are there good dairy-free cheeses?
You know what? Not really.
Really?
I mean, the supermarket offerings are really, they're not as good as they should be in terms of cheeses. So vegan cheese is not quite there yet. There's some locally made cheeses, but the national options are just not good enough.
And what about when you cook tofu? What is the secret to cooking tofu? I've never been good at that.
You got to dry it before you brown it.
Okay.
And so slice it into slabs or into fingers, get it on paper towels, more paper towels on top, 20 to 30 minutes to really let it dry out because nothing will brown if it's wet. And tofu is really, really wet.
That was my problem because it just mushed up.
Yeah. And then we like to do a cornmeal coating. So just lightly coat in cornmeal and then put it in a hot skillet and you get that custardy center because the center will stay nice and creamy.
Right.
And a really crispy, really crunchy exterior. And the thing about tofu is whatever flavor you put on the sauce, it will absorb it. And I love tofu, but you've got to prep it right and cook it right.
What's your favorite sauce to put it in?
I love big flavors, so I think like a curry.
Curry would be good.
Because it really, tofu doesn't have a lot of personality.
Right.
No,
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But, that's a good thing. It's flexible. How's that sound? It is what you make of it.
Okay, may I try this?
Yes, now I'll put together a burger for you.
Okay. That is really good. That's really good.
It's meant, no, you're not going to say, oh, that tastes like beef. Because, of course,
this is mine, by the way. This is going right here. This will stay here. That's really good.
Yeah,
wow.
You get all of the sort of notes that you want from a burger. And as I say, it's got the creamy sauce, it's got some tangy pickled radishes, all those things together.
When it comes to when you put this book together, what did you find out that surprised you or you learned?
The baking was fascinating because, we thought if you don't have butter, and you don't have milk, and you don't have yogurt, and you don't have eggs.
Yeah, how do you do it?
And we found amazing substitutes. There are more and more non-dairy yogurts that are out there. Coconut yogurt, almond yogurt, that really work very, very well. Coconut oil is a great substitute for butter. And then aquafaba, we're using the liquid from a can of chickpeas because that black bean liquid wouldn't look very good in a yellow cake.
No, it wouldn't. What about tempeh?
Tempeh has got such a great flavor. So like tofu, it's based on soy, but it's got grains as well. And so it's a little funky. And it's got a much chewier texture. You can really sear it and give a great crust on it and then pair it with a big sauce like a salsa verde or something with a lot of personality.
The book again is titled Vegan for Everybody, and I can tell you by this burger, it's really good. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.